Hello snowboarders of the internet, I'm your host Avran LeFeber, and in this video we're going to review the 2019 Snofisk Puckerfisk. This board is available in three sizes, 151, 156, and 163. This board features Snofisk's rear foot power camber, which is a set back traditional camber with a rocker in the nose. So when you weight the board, it does activate the rocker a little bit, but it is set back. So it's more spring off the back foot, more power out of it that way. I rode this board at Arapahoe Basin on a day that was a little cold, and by a little I mean it was fucking bitter. It sucked. And there was like fits of the snow poking through the clouds, and it was trying to snow, and there was some fresh snow and chunder snow. And overall, it was just one of those days where it's still pre-season and it doesn't know what the hell it's doing, and it was a bit bipolar. And I rode it with my K2 Indies and my K2 Thraxis boots. Alright, so if you look at this board, you can clearly tell it's directional, which means you're going to have a directional flex. Slightly softer nose, stiffening up progressively through the tail. There's not a lot of torsional flex to this board. This thing is designed for ripping hard turns. So if you're looking for something you can really center flex, probably not the board for you. But what's cool about this board is the fact that these guys use a lot of carbon in it, carbon top sheets, and that adds to the ride. It really makes it super stable. This is one of those boards that you can just go as fast as you want. You do not have to worry about any tip flap in that rocker or anything that'll resonate back underfoot. This board is just super damp, yet very lively due to the carbon inside of it and the way they build this board. All the pop in this board comes from that back foot, from that camber, because it's set back. You do have to load it up to get it to engage, and when you do, it snaps. It's not the snappiest board I've been on, but it gets the job done. This thing is designed for being a bullet and then just popping really fast over anything in front of you. I'm not gonna lie, you probably don't really want to butter on this thing unless you're in really steep, fresh snow. It's a chore. You have to get all your weight out over that nose on the rocker and really press into it to get it to engage. And when you do, you still have to press even harder. Not gonna lie, this board is aggressive. This board is 100% designed to carve off that back foot, to really load it up and push it into the center of the board and get it to slingshot out of turns. You don't really engage too much off that front foot. It's there to help steer, but you're doing most of the work off that back foot. This is one of those boards that you really want to know what you're doing and have your line picked out when you get it on edge. You want to make sure that you know how much force you're going to have to put into it to get it to steer. It can do short, tight, quick, nimble turns, but that's not where this thing shines. No, wide open, balls to the wall, hard, long, drawn out S-carves. That's what you really want to be doing with this board. So who is this board for? It's definitely for the free ride guy that's going out on a groomer and chasing pow. Someone that's going to carve hard or slash really aggressively. So there were some slight design tweaks to this year's model versus the last one that I rode, and I did ride that one in a 156. I think that every size in this board has slightly different characteristics to it. So being on the 63, that's the more balls to the wall, wide open terrain board. I took it in some tight, steep trees up in the steep woods at A Basin, and it was a chore. This board rocked me. I had to work twice as hard to get anything I normally would have done. You know, just transitioning, just doing jump turns, getting through just bushes and shit. Basically, if you've ridden the terrain, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you're probably confused. Leave it at that. This is a board that you gotta work to engage and really be assertive with to get what you want out of it. Now, is that a bad thing? No, and I think Snofisk is one of the most highly underrated American-made brands out there, and just a highly underrated snowboard brand. And if you've seen my top 5 on that, you know what I'm talking about. But this board itself, I think I'm like the 156 guy. That's just more my thing, tight little quick turns, and that's what I would have ideally liked to ride. But they wanted to send me the 63 to see how it went, and it's not a bad board. It's really not. It's just too much board for the type of terrain I ride, and I realize that. But if you're one of those guys in wide open terrain, fucking consider it, man. This thing you can send it with. Comparable boards. The Rosinal Crypto, the Capita Black Snowboard of Death, or even the Warp Speed. You could consider the Warp Speed in there if you really wanted to, if you've got a bigger hoof. This has been my review of the Snofisk Puckerfisk. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Have you even heard of these guys? Leave me a comment down below. Let's have a conversation. I love talking snowboards with you guys. I love commenting back with you. If you're new around here, remember to subscribe, click those bells, get that notification. That way you're not missing any of the videos we've got coming out. And if you'd really like to support us, swing over to Angry Snowboarder VIP. We got some behind the scenes stuff over there. We drop videos a little bit early. There's Q&As. You could join the sticker club tier over there. Get stickers sent to your door every month. I'd really recommend that. It's $7 a month, but you get stickers every month. As always, I've been your host, Avran LeFeber. I'll be your host again, and I'll see you in another video.